Hi friends, it's Unicorn saying hi from a Friday evening. This is the beginning of a very special reading vlog because this weekend is the Pride celebration in San Francisco and I'm gonna take you guys along with me to Pride Parade on Sunday. But besides that, I have like a lot of other different things planned, including the 3 books that I'm gonna read in different format, which I'm going to talk about them now. The first book I'm gonna read is Dear Senthuran by Awaeke Emezi. This is their memoir. They published it during the pandemic. It is a very spiritual and personal memoir talking about their experiences growing up with the identity, and what I like the most so far is when they were talking about their journey of being a writer. And I feel like there are a lot of great discussion and reflection on searching for your work, and especially for them to present such a unique debut called Freshwater, which is a book that I really liked back then, and for them to introduce the word identity but in a different aspect that compared to how we often thought. This is a very insightful memoir and I'm enjoying it so far. I actually listened to it on audio, which I'm already took so many notes as well. I borrowed both copy from the library because I want to take note from the physical books from time to time, but because this weekend I will have a lot of time on the go, so audio format is a great way for me to read, I think. And the second book is 足利女童连续失踪事件. This is a book that I just held in my nonfiction book haul for the Chinese parcel. This is a true crime story happened in Japan where 4 schoolgirls went missing and they fall into like 2 different police stations. So the police, they failed to make connections among the 4 cases, and they kind of just like closed the case and captured a person that they thought is the murderer. But after a couple of years, like the 5th girl went missing, this is where Shimizu Kiyoshi went into his own investigation and prompted the police to reopen the cases. That's the physical books that I'm gonna be reading. And I have an ebook. This ebook is called Lusca. Something happened. Anyhow, this is a book that Nicole recommended because this month is the reading project that she's doing called Invisible Cities. This month is the Bahamian Caribbean month, and she recommended this book along with some others, and this is one book that I'm interested in. It's inspired by Bahamian folktale, and I'm really looking forward to read it. It's a short book relatively, so I think I can finish it in this weekend. And that are all the books that I'm gonna be reading this weekend, and as I said, I have a lot of things planned. First of all, the Pride Parade on Sunday, but before that, tonight we're going to see the musical Into the Woods. It's actually my second time watching Into the Woods because the first time I didn't enjoy it and I actually left halfway. And you might wonder, like, if you left the musical halfway, why do you want to watch it again? It's because my partner kept telling me that I have some, maybe like wrong impressions of the musical, so he kept asking me to give it a second chance, and this time it toured to San Francisco again. Last time I actually watched it in Dallas. So this time we're going to go and give it a second chance. And tomorrow, I think we're gonna try to catch a movie, the new Wes Anderson's movie. We liked the French Dispatch so much, so my partner wanted to watch that. So that is that. And on Sunday, after the Pride Parade, I'm secretly wanted to try out a recipe that Nicole uploaded today. Like, she was talking about the Bahamian traditional kind of a pea soup in her video, and she walked through how to make it, and I want to try to make it. That is the plan for this weekend. I think this is gonna be a fun weekend, and I hope you guys are enjoying your time as well, and I'll update you with my reading update and some other things. Talk to you guys later. It's Saturday. It's already around lunchtime, and I had a pretty chill morning this morning without doing a lot of things. I feel like for the past few weeks, I've been on go mode for the most of the time. So this morning, I feel like I'm well rested. So I'm ready to get back to reading again. However, before that, I do want to give you an update. I am at about 2/3 of the book, Dear Senthuran, already, and I forgot to tell you that this book is written in the format of letters to their friends. Awaeke Emezi said in the interview with Trevor Noah, which I really loved. I'll link it down below. In the interview, they said the reason why they wrote the book in the format of letters is they wanted to be like another way of vulnerable, but without creating the distance between them and the readers. And by writing letter to their friends, this is like another way of being intimate and also honest about a lot of things. And I feel like that's actually a brilliant way of going into a memoir, especially this memoir includes a lot of spiritual things that for readers, for me, whenever I read something related to that, it will take me some time to understand. I feel like it's very honest, it's very eye-opening, and it really gave me the better feelings or ways to understand their other books, which I loved. I loved The Death of Vivek OG and also Freshwater. So yeah, so far enjoy it a lot, and I'm looking forward to read or listen to it more. But this afternoon, I will be reading this book. This is, I forgot to translate the title in the intro clip, I just now realized. This is the serial Missing Cases of Schoolgirls in the town of Ashikaga, and yeah, I'll be reading this. This is going to be a quick read. For some reason, for Japanese books translated into Chinese, I feel like the tone of the book is somehow always very light, like how very like oral, like or spoken style. So whenever I read one of these books, I read it super quickly. So I have no doubt that I can finish it this afternoon. But before that, I need to pick up my desk. I cannot stand it anymore, and let's pick it up together, and you can also take a peek of my other reading project. Hi friends, just got back from dinner and I want to update you on the book, The Serial Missing Cases of the Schoolgirls in Ashikaga, and I'm at page 172 already, and this book it's good in a way that the case is, oh, by the way, this is the cover without the dust jacket, and yeah, so the book is so far good in the way that it's compelling. It's a really captivating story because the nature of these cases and how negligent the police in these cases are. And the thing that's bizarre about the police is they're not only like not doing their jobs, but they are actually omit some of the evidence that is not like not good or like not pushing forward the progress of their investigation. They kind of have this, you know, pre-assumption of how the case would go, and they kind of hid the evidence that is not good for the assumptions, and they only showed the evidence that is good for their like pre-assumed assumptions, which is kind of bizarre to me. But also the way of the writing, I know it's a very serious case, but the writing makes it really I don't know, sometimes it's laughable because the writer kept writing about how good he is during the investigation, which he is, but sometimes he'll write things like I saw blah blah evidence and it reminded me of a thing, and then he wouldn't tell you what is the thing that he remembered, and he'll just tell you, I guess, leave you with a cliffhanger, and you have to discover it after like another 100 pages, which drives me crazy. I feel like you are a non-fiction, you are like a true crime story. You should present us the evidence that you found with with your progress. Not like you're writing a thriller or any kind of fictional novel that you can have a cliffhanger and the reader will be like, ooh, a cliffhanger. But like for a non-fiction, for true crimes, I just cannot stand it. Anyhow, that's my thoughts so far. The case is really compelling right now, and I can't wait to dive back into this book. Hi friends, it's 9:30 in the evening, and I have just finished this 殺人犯はそこにいる, which is the serial missing cases of the schoolgirls in Ashikaga, and I have to say that I didn't see the ending of this book coming. I know it's a non-fiction, it's true crime, but I just didn't, I don't want to spoiler you guys because I know some of you read in Chinese or Japanese, and I just feel like, this is somewhat unexpected, but I also loved how the discussion, like the not the progress of the case, but the discussion of the author, where he mentioned and he leaped the whole conclusion of the book to discuss the death penalty and all the nuances comes with it, and sometimes the whole system will act in the way under pressure and leads to some false conclusion. I really loved that discussion of this book, and although that I mentioned that this author, his writing is not the best in the world for nonfiction, and I'm frustrated with the writing of this book, but I do think that he improved among all the books that I have read of his. This one is the one of the newest that got published, and I feel like his writing improved a lot compared to some earlier books that I read. And and I just feel like this is a book that really can make you think a lot about actually death penalty. Some people will just use this to benefit themselves, and I feel like this case really showed it, because remember the person that I told you guys that got caught 17 years ago, but like after he got caught, another case happened. That person was sentenced to death penalty, and thankfully that it wasn't executed yet. Before that, the author investigated and found out that he was not the true murderer. And just imagine that if he died and if his death penalty was executed, like there's one that the truth of the cases will never be out. In the second one, he will just be, dead for something that he didn't do. So unexpectedly thought-provoking book, and I really enjoyed the reading experience. It was a smooth and fast read as I anticipated. That concludes the reading of today, and tomorrow, like I promised you guys, I'll take you guys to the Pride Parade. I'm not in the parade, I just like watch the parade as an audience. We plan to take train right there, so on the way I will finally be able to read on public transportation again, and I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's Pride Parade. But now I am off to bed. Friends, I'm back from the Pride Parade and it was so fun. It's actually already Monday because yesterday it ended up being very late when I come back because the Pride Parade, they're supposed to be end around noon, so I thought I'll have time like in the afternoon, come back and relax and make the recipe from Nicole, but it didn't happen. I got back at around 5 and I was exhausted, so we actually went to have hot pot. But first of all, I did finish this book and I have a book update. So this book is truly unique, like peculiar, like special, like all of the word, because I saw even on Goodreads, Rexon Gay said this is like something that she has never read, which is so true because this memoir is a lot of things. It's like Awaeke Emezi's personal life intertwined with their formerly beliefs. I couldn't even say that it's religious beliefs. It's like some beliefs that they hold dearly in their heart, and it's the principle of how they do things in the world, but also amazingly like adapting these principles to her daily work as a writer. So yeah, that was such a like special reading experience for me, and but I do want to point out that I feel like this book it's a little bit triggering if you are depressed or have something, because this book has like 2 different places like describe their suicidal attempts, which I feel like it's a little bit detailed, which is a good thing for a memoir because it's raw and it's candid. It's like so honest, but at the same time I feel like if you are a person who's struggling a lot, maybe just stay away from this book for a little while and get back to it when you are a little bit more prepared. So that was my thought of like a reminder. But yeah, like I said, this book has a lot of like personal strong beliefs because they believe that they are a god, which is something very new to me because I've never read something from a perspective of like a interpretation of human world from the perspective of a god. So, so I feel like that was very eye-opening, but at the same time, because they are living in our world, so they're like experiencing all the things that we can relate to. So I want to read you a little paragraph about healing. What would it look like to let a leaf brown all the way, to let the plant be the one to drop it off, grow a new leaf on its own time, instead of me hurrying it along? It made me think about patience and what healing can look like. Sitting with the browning parts, waiting for time to die, waiting for the old skin to slough off instead of ripping it apart. Maybe the skin underneath is too raw, too new. Maybe if I was more patient with certain death, I would be more ready for the lives that come after them. I was really moved by that and I took notes immediately, and I just feel like, yes, sometimes things in our life like can be hard, and sometimes we want the hardness to pass faster, but at the same time, maybe the only thing that we can do and should do is give it time. Anyhow, I enjoyed this book very much, and I think this book is a solid 4-star because every letters in the book that don't have like the same level of compellingness to make it a 5-star, but I still think this is a book well worth reading, and I do recommend it a lot if you are prepared. Yes. So now let's talk about the Pride Parade. The Pride Parade was so much fun. Unfortunately, my partner didn't make it because he has a very severe migraine in the morning, so he couldn't go. So I went by myself and I took the train. Well, I say train, it's more like a upper ground subway. And normally, like taking the train is not part of usual transportation ways of people, but yesterday the train was a special train for the parade, and there are so many people waiting at the station and people all dressed up, and it was so fun. And then I got to the spot a little bit past 10:30 because I was trying to make it in the bathroom, but I didn't because I waited in the bathroom line for like 20 minutes until I feel like it's too late. I might as well just hold it. So I went to the parade, and I was able, there are a lot of people already there, and I was able to squeeze myself in a little tiny gap, so I was actually on the front line to watch the parade, and that was so fun. So the structure of the parade is interesting. First of all, they had like all the organizations for queer rights and things like that, and then in the middle there's a huge section of all the politicians with all the names that you can think about that is related to San Francisco, like they all came. But I've also had the honor to meet the Montana representative Zoe Zephyr. She came really close to me because they were a person, like 5 people right to me. very excited for her. And so they screamed, and Zoe came to her and hugged her, and they took photo, and I was like, I want a photo too, but I didn't get a photo. But you know, the atmosphere, and there were some people like behind me, they have very good eyesight and very loud voice, so they were reading every sign, like every organization, like who's who, and I know everything because they just announced it like a mile away, and I feel very lucky for that. And after all the politicians, there are a bunch of companies, and I do feel this is the part where I feel like some companies are not, you cannot have Starbucks parading in the Pride Parade. We're reading a news in the morning saying that some Starbucks location, they were forced to take down their Pride decoration. Now it's kind of messed up, right? And also there's Safeway. It's a local supermarket chain. I don't think it's local. It's a nationwide supermarket chain, but might not well known in like outside of the States. They had their groups in the parade, but also like the local Safeway in my city, they are on protest every day because they treated their worker too badly. I was like, this is rainbow washing. But it was fun, like them parading the parade, and people are excited for them. Like, doesn't necessarily mean that all the people there are support them, right? They just happen to be there. And the funny thing is, Google also have like a large party this year, but Google was actually banned in San Francisco Pride Parade for a couple of years before the pandemic because the board thought that Google didn't do much on their platform to protect queer folks. And but this year the ban, I think last year is already lifted, and this year they came back again with their car, like Google and all of that. There's so many things that I want to talk about, and I took so many footage, but the downside is like now my mind is like full of the things, and I couldn't think about what I wanted to talk about. And same thing with the footage, it's so hard to go through them. So I hope you enjoy the clip that I showed before. And I myself, I wore a asexual dress, and I was so happy that some people recognized it. And there's like a tiny small group of San Francisco asexuality organization, and they saw my dress and they run to me to give me some stickers like this. So I took the stickers. I was very selective of what things that I took from them because I don't want to. I know that a lot of the like goodies, they are essentially just gonna become trash, so I don't want to create like take home a lot of trash, but I did take a couple of stickers, including this Ace one and also the San Francisco Ballet. This is like a left side right kind of sticker, so I think this is like meant to for the window. And this public transportation, this is the first person who gave me the sticker, so I have to take it. Yeah, so I had fun in the Pride Parade, and I hope you guys had fun listening to me retelling it. And I just feel like by living here in the Bay Area for longer, I really love San Francisco as a city more and more. But something in my mind is the city is like currently facing some challenges after the pandemic. It wasn't really fully recovered whatsoever, so finger crossed it will recover soon. And for the 3 books that I was reading, I was already finished both of them, and I also read about 30% of the Lusca. And that book, I was trying to read it on the train, not on the rain, on the train, but it's a little bit hard for me to concentrate because there's so many people there, and I couldn't take footage me reading on the train because I really want to document it. But then there were so many people. I didn't expect so many people because before, when I took the train, there was like no one, So I read 30% about it, and I just feel like it's hard for me to concentrate, so I went to listen to the audiobooks. So that's why I didn't make much progress of that, but I still wanted to finish it like before the end of the month. And in terms of the recipe that I wanted to try, I didn't have time yesterday. I didn't have time yesterday, so I think I'm just gonna try it for lunch. So see you later in my kitchen. Hi, welcome to my kitchen. So Nicole has a illustration of all the ingredients, so I have prepped mine according to her illustration. And I have like 2 small changes. First of all, she only used sweet potato and she only used sweet potato, but I'm adding a carrot because she said some people also added carrot, and I just want some more veggies in this dish, so I use half sweet potato and half carrot. And I also don't have baking soda because we don't bake things, so I'm using this egg instead because I was chatting with her and I mentioned we have something similar in China, but we were using egg instead of the baking soda. I thought it's a flavor thing, but she actually mentioned maybe the egg is doing the same thing to puff the dough a little bit in the same way that baking soda does. I don't know, but I'm gonna use an egg instead. And I have this brand new bread flour, which is very weird because I never make bread. And I don't know why I have bread flour, but I might have like wanted to do something, but it's like brand new. So not sure if bread flour would work, but this is all I have. So I'm heating up the pot, and I think just with some olive oil, well, I'm using avocado oil. Saute the onions first. Now I can smell the aroma of the onions, so I'm going to add the tomato paste. In British English fashion. 1 tablespoon, 7 tablespoons. Now it's red. How can I see if it's translucent? Now it's been a minute, so I decided to declare that it is translucent, although I don't know. So adding the veggies, adding the peas, and 2 cans of water from the pea container. And then adding 1 teaspoon of thyme, half a teaspoon of salt, cover and let it boil. Now let's make the dough for the dumplings. Crack an egg. So this makes this recipe not vegan. I believe Nicole's original recipe is vegan. 1 cup of flour. I like the bowl is a little bit smaller to make it clumpy texture. I feel like this is okay. I am not sure. So I'm just gonna leave it here to make the water and flour and egg do their thing. Now it's been a while, so I am going to put the dumpling in. What we do in China is to pour it like this. Actually, let me turn on the heat to make it boil a little. Pour it like this and then cut it up. It's so large! I feel like I made too big of those. Anyhow, so Nicole said she can only get like 4 out of these, but I feel like I can get 8. I feel like I got like 10 dumplings. It's okay. Then we cover it for like 5 minutes. Oh my god, I feel like the eggs really did their work. It's so huge! Puffing it up instead of baking soda. That's definitely too much dumplings, like those flours. Maybe it was the egg, maybe it was the bread flour. Anyhow, let's eat. Hi friends, so I am about to have lunch now. I have made this. I feel like it doesn't look so bad. I don't know, I have no idea if it's the way that Nicole would do it, so it's not authentic at all, but I feel like it looks pretty good and also doesn't smells pretty good too. So I'm really excited about it. However, I'm about to conclude this vlog. So to sum it up, I went to watch Into the Woods, didn't get the Wes Anderson movie because we just didn't have time, and I went to the Pride Parade, and this weekend is amazing, and I have finished first one, this nonfiction from Japan. It's a true crime story that I really liked. Not really like the story. Like I hope the thing that in this book wouldn't happen, but it's a good book and very reflective. And also this memoir from Awaeke Emezi, and this is another book that I really enjoyed. I just feel like this is a good way to know more about them and also dive into their writings. And I am in the middle of the Lusca, which I prefer to finish by the end of the month, but that's about it. I'm going to dive into my lunch, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know any of your thoughts. And I still have like so many things about the Pride Parade that I wanted to say, but I didn't say. Just one thing that I remembered, because there's also the San Francisco FBI in the parade, and that was a little bit interesting seeing them there, because I was like, oh, do you guys need to be, you know, working the secret or something? But I'm not sure. Maybe that's not FBI, like other departments. Anyhow, so that was another fun thing. And also all the police car, ambulance, and firefighter trucks are all entered the parade at some point, which is very interesting. Anyhow, I am pumped about the past weekend. I hope you are too. Let me know any of your thoughts down below. Please don't forget to say hi, thumbs up to this video if you enjoyed it. I wish you happy reading, stay healthy, stay safe. I'll see you in my next bookish video. Bye!